On today's show, I would like to show you how I make my ground turkey. Ground turkey is something that I have to make on a very regular basis in my training diet, and I found it more interesting to put a little bit of Mexican spice on it, almost like I'm eating tacos every day. So this is my recipe for Mexican ground turkey. First off, the ingredients. You'll need 1 pound of ground turkey, 1 tablespoon of paprika, 2½ teaspoons of onion powder, 2 teaspoons of cumin, 2 teaspoons of oregano, 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne pepper. Of course, if you like a little bit more or a little bit less, that's up to you. We have a teaspoon of garlic powder, and then just a pinch of salt. Kosher salt if you would like. Next, we're going to move on to mixing our taco seasoning. So all you have to do, this is so easy, is just toss all of your spices into a mixing bowl. We have some great spices that are going to mix up. And then the last spice, the pinch of salt. A pinch of salt is usually about 1/8 of a teaspoon, but of course you can put in as much or as little that you like. So we're just going to mix up these spices. I love mixing spices together because then you get all of the aromas start to fill up your nasal cavity. All right, so we're all done mixing up the spices. Now we move on to browning the ground turkey. For my ground turkey choice, I like to use a 99% lean ground turkey. This may be a little bit too lean for you, so if you prefer, you can use a 93% ground turkey. That's what's most often found at the grocery store. So you'll brown the ground turkey over medium-high heat. You'll need to mix this up, stirring frequently so that you don't get any of the meat too burned. Okay, looks like we are about all browned up here. The next step is actually a particularly good one when you're trying to eat lean, and that's rinsing and draining the ground turkey. What we want to do is be able to get rid of all of the fat, or at least as much of the fat as possible. So we're going to move on to rinsing and draining the ground turkey. I've noticed that quite a bit of fat has now cooked out of the ground turkey during the browning process. We are going to add some water to our pot. Mix the ground turkey in the water, and then simply drain. I like to use a colander that is designed for pasta. It has small slits in it so that the spaghetti doesn't come out when you're draining pasta. But this works best for ground turkey because, of course, you don't want to lose too much of your ground turkey as you're draining it. We repeat this process 3 times. I say 3 times because I think that's just a good number to use when you're trying to get rid of fat. Rinse it about 3 times. Sounds about right. Nothing too scientific there. All right. So we add water, mix and rinse, drain. Little bit of water, then we toss it back into our pot, and we're ready to mix the spices. So let's move back over to our range, back on medium-high heat. We're going to toss in 1/4 cup of water. Just add a little bit of moisture in. Then I'm going to grab my spice bowl with my mixture of seasoning. We will mix the seasoning with the water and the ground turkey until it is thoroughly combined. Now you can see that the ground turkey is taken on the color of the spice mix, and the aroma of Mexico is filling my kitchen. And that's it. That's all there's to it. Mexican ground turkey. Now we'll just move on over here. I'll just transfer the ground turkey into my bowl so you can see the finished product. And there we have it, Mexican ground turkey. I like to add this to my training diet, so instead of a boring old 4 ounces of brown ground turkey, I get a Mexican fiesta on a daily basis. Hope you'll join me next week for another episode of Dr. Venus on Call.